I start off with it. Seemingly start off with this question every week: who's in, who's out, who's available?
I mean, we've not named our squad yet, have we? But we've got a few bodies back, and yeah, considerably healthier squad to take to Catalan than played against Wigan. So we've got some good bodies back. Obviously, notable ones would be uh, Callum as our skipper's back, which is fantastic news for us. So, but there's two or three other bodies as well.
You said on Sunday you weren't sure as to why Callum and Chris missed the game. Have you got to the bottom of why they did now?
Well, they're playing this week and they didn't last week, and that's about it. That's all I care about. So,
Yeah, no, fair
that's
enough.
about it.
That's fair enough. You mentioned three lads that on Sunday that played injured as well. Hilly, Joe Sharrock, and Justin Sanger. Are they all in contention? Or are they out this week?
Um, well, Justin Sangari is he's the one who's struggling. The other two are fine. So late check on Justin, so and his wife's expecting as well. So we're on a little bit of a tight one there. She's due this week. So yeah, we'll just play that one as we see it.
Joe Bullock wasn't named in the squad last week either. Is he available this week, or is he still out?
Joe's off sick.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. And again, I've asked this question many times before. Is there any way of Nene McDonald playing? Because he played against the Midlands at the start of the cup
Yeah,
campaign, didn't he?
yeah, no, he's no chance, mate. So unfortunately not.
I mean, everything's sort of off the field, sort of well. How is this trip being funded and paid for? Because obviously it costs a fair bit to fly a team of players over to Catalan, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I do quite a few jobs here in these circumstances, but one is I don't pay for the flights and I don't book the flights, so you're gonna have to ask
Yeah.
Chris, I think, or somebody else.
Right. Okay. So, but I mean, I mean, the lads have showed repeatedly the spirit in the camp as well. But having the bodies back as well adds that bit of skill as well, bit of nous as well, does it? Because you relied on spirited young kids on Sunday, weren't you?
Yeah, definitely, and you can't go to places like Wigan and obviously this week's opposition, Catalan, a quarter final of a cup without your experienced players. So yeah, the youngsters are valiant and they held their own and for some parts of the game, but obviously everybody needs the full team. It's not the full team that it looked like when we set out in pre-season training with the loss of Laffey, Sneed and Singleton. And then if you add that to it, that's significant. You've took the dream team players out of your life, so I think that would hurt any team. You hear other teams and coaches bemoan certain injuries. Well, that takes some matching that little lineup there. So, but we're good with our strongest team available. I mean, obviously they're not with us now. That's history, but it's still an important part of the journey. So we're happy this week. We're going in good mood.
Just on then, have you had to explain to him the circumstances as to why he can't play in it? Does he understand it now?
Yeah, he fully understands it. It's the he understands the cap and the restrictions and the all the moving parts, so he gets it.
And just lastly for me, has there been any sort of indication at all as to what happened next week, week after, maybe? Because April's a big month for the club. Like you said on Sunday, the club can't go through another month of this, can it? So something has to happen one way or the other, doesn't it?
Yeah, you said it. I agreed, but yeah. So I just think, like anything in life, I think if things are communicated well, then it's very surprising how resilient people can be in general and in life. So I think the key to everything is communication, and as long as everything's communicated well, then like I said before, they're a durable group, and most people are. So we'll just take it as it comes.
Cheers, Paul. Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate.
Good morning, Paul. How are you?
Hiya, pal, you all right?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Just on communication there. I think it was Curtis attended an owners meeting this week and gave some answers to owners. Do you feel the last, I don't know what timeline we're talking here, 48 hours since the game or even before that, do you think the communication's been a little bit clearer and a little bit more where it needs to be so that the players have known more as well, not just people at boardroom level?
I think we kind of got to that point before the Wigan game. So we've, like I said, I give my thoughts, and I said that in the presser after the game, um, and I think that was pretty much confirmed from above me, from the ownership group, that I wasn't far off with that assumption, and that's kind of the clarity that people need, without the minor detail and facts, figures, numbers, dates too accurate. There or thereabouts, we can cope with there's an end goal, and we're working towards something. Then we'll dig in and we're in it together at that point. So I wouldn't say it's changed because it's we're only on Wednesday, so I've not been reading much, but directly there's not really been any change there, but there's not needed to be either.
If we could just talk about rugby for a minute, which is nice thought, isn't it? You're actually only 2 wins from Wembley. And I know Catalans are a daunting trip, but I think people have probably lost the narrative that this is going to be your last year as a head coach, obviously moving roles within the club next year. Um, the the prospect of trying to win a trophy, that must be the goal for you, the send off that you would dream of, wish off when this season, kicked off, when you made that decision.
Yeah, yeah. Well, people dream of worthy accomplishments, others stay awake and try and achieve them. So I take the latter route. I'm just working hard to try and achieve anything, and achieving for me is getting the best out of people I coach, and I achieved last week in that regard on Sunday. I couldn't have been happier on Sunday. So because some young men gave me the best and some experienced players gave me the best. So there's a trophy there for me in my own head. So I'll take that little win.
What would it mean to coach at Wembley?
Yeah, I'd enjoy the experience, and the lads would as well. So I think anything like that is, again, I always speak about the journey. Every coach will, and I think the journey with this group, no matter where that ends, but if it could land a spot at Wembley, would be tremendous. And we'd enjoy that occasion because we're a group that know how to have a good time, and we'd do that, and it would be a real obviously sense of achievement, and a bit of a story in there as well. It's I don't think there'd be many teams been on this sort of journey, and the end was at Wembley, so yeah, it'd be pretty special, to be honest.
Lovely. Thanking you. Good luck.
Thanks, Matt. Try that.
Hi Paul, how you doing? You all right?
Good, thank you.
Just on that, where would it probably rank for you if you could reach the final of the Challenge Cup in your achievements?
Yeah, I mean, like I always say this, but you can never beat playing. So playing's always number one. Pulling on a shirt is number one, whether that be at Wembley or on the backfield. Playing's best. So coaching is a different sort of feeling. It's a feeling of fulfillment. It's a feeling of like you hold a lot of responsibility for the people that you represent. So it would be in a different chapter of the book, put it that way, because I'd just be pleased for everybody concerned. It's a little bit like watching your son do his first steps or speak his first words. It's a feeling of pride, and I like to sit back and watch people enjoy themselves. So for the fans, for the players, it'd be about them.
This year, obviously, Kristen getting ready to take over as such next year. Have you changed? I know it's been a very unique set of circumstances, and to your plans maybe have been out the window on certain things. But just in terms of coaching on the training pitch, match days, has much changed in terms of the way things are working as a coaching team?
Well, it's Kurt that's taking over, but not Christening. So, so has it changed? Well, I've obviously been in a lot of stuff that isn't, under the category of coaching. But yeah, I don't mind that. No, not really, mate. It's just been doing more things that aren't rugby related, and I'm just trying to put a team out. So you can't really. I guess I've always had a clear blueprint on what my teams look like and play like, but that's always dictated to and built via recruitment and personnel. So when the personnel you're not in control of, and then the pitch is obviously going to change. So some adaptation and has had to take that into account, and we've got to change things to suit the personnel. So the blueprint changes, I think, in that respect.
Yeah, sorry, I got my K's muddled up. But speaking of who you're playing, Catalans, what have you made of them so far this year and the challenge that faces you?
Yeah, they've been consistent top team for many years now. I think Steve McNamara's done a fantastic job since he took the reins there, and as ever, they're very big, physical. A lot of offloads in there, and they dominate territory and possession on most games that I've seen them play. So certainly in Catalan, vociferous and passionate support group. So it's an almighty challenge, and they're a good team, that's for sure.
Good luck. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Hey, mate, how you going?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Mate, we're doing the commentary on Friday on rugbyleague.com, which is I just want to get some sort of pre-match stuff that we can play out before kickoff. And I was going to ask you, on game day, how different is it coaching in this situation to normally? Do you have to focus on, I don't know, like little windows, keeping your line intact? And is it more basic than it would normally be if you had a full complement of players? How different is your assignment,
Yeah, when you've got new players in who you don't really, you're not fully versed on their habits and the structures that they've been playing of the loan players, for example. So yeah, I guess like I spoke about the blueprint before, you've got to dumb that down and concentrate on 4 things rather than 16 things, because the habits haven't been formed over a lengthy pre-season. So yeah, you've got to keep it as simple as you can, and the important bit is whether you're new or you've been here for 4 or 5 years, is to be connected. So you learn as a young age that communications solves a lot of problems, and so it's the same old narratives. Just do the little things well.
Does travel impact younger and inexperienced players more than experienced players? Is it more of a distraction for young kids?
I don't think so. Youngsters are more durable, and they just enjoy whatever's thrown at them. They don't see it as a challenge, and they're not sat there worrying about the back tightening up and the aches and pains that the senior players get. So no, young lads, no issue there.
And I guess I know you wouldn't think of it in this regard, but these are the 2 most newsworthy clubs in Super League at the moment, with the sort of vultures reportedly kind of circling Catalans a little bit. You've coached at an expansion team. What do you make of the state of the competition now, with so much uncertainty surrounding, at least 2 of the clubs? How would you summarize the situation the competition is in right now?
I mean, what's going on at Catalan? I didn't know about anything.
Well, there was the discussion at Batley yesterday. One of the agenda items was the future of French and Welsh clubs.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I've not seen anything on that, so I'm not. I like Catalan. I think that I think they're great. I like Toulouse as well. No, I'm all for expansion. As you know, coached at Toronto. I'll always believe that was an absolute drop ball, letting that one go. But I guess COVID and circumstances, and contributed to that. And obviously the wealth within our game, or the distribution, obviously being spread awfully thin and getting less is difficult, and people and clubs have to look after themselves, and I guess the core teams in the north of England predominantly. So I understand it, but definitely support it. So state of the game, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I just enjoy what I do, so I try and just concentrate on what I'm doing, and trust the people who make the big decisions to make the right decisions. So and you men will decide whether you think it's good or bad.
See you there, mate. Thanks for your help.
Thanks, mate.
All right, Paul, you okay?
Hiya, Rob. Good, mate. Yeah.
Good. Defeated Wigan at weekend with a battered and bruised and stretched squad. You went into a little huddle in front of the fans after the game. What did you say to your players?
Oh, not a lot, mate. Just a little bit of a team talk, really. It's a good opportunity. There was a bit of time on the field, so I just gave the team talk. Nothing over the top there, Rob. So just make sure that it felt like a little bit of a moment. The fans were great, the players were great, the youngsters, the seniors. So it felt like a together moment, together being players, staff, fans. And I just thought it was important that we recognised it and shared that moment, and enjoyed it and showed our appreciation to the supporters in particular.
Yeah, you brought in a couple of young players last week to boost numbers. Is it just what we need at this point, to bring sort of new faces in?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's what we've needed to do to get a team on the field. So as I said, pre-Wigan, we'll always find a way, and that's important, So and whoever that is, I'll make sure that, like I've always promised with this club, that we'll always give 100%, and we'll go to battle, and represent the club in the way that it should be.
Is there a limit how many you can bring in? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it's 5 loan players is a maximum there. So yeah, I think we've got 4, maybe 5. I don't know, but we've not got too much. There's not much wriggle room on anything, Rob. To be fair, so it's definitely give us a few sleepless nights, but we just we need a good holiday. Put it that way at the end of the year.
Yeah, obviously the players coming in, are they on one eye for the future, as in when we get out of the restrictions to sort of keep them, or is it just more about the here and now?
Well, you're always looking at it, and things pop up in unusual circumstances and in tough situations. And so Finn Yates, for example, this week we've got a 21-man squad this week, and Finn Yates is in that squad, and he's in there not just to add a number. He's in there because I felt he earned his position. He got respect. He did that from defending tough, which is usually a good start point for any young player. And he held his own and did remarkably well. So he's earned a spot, which is fantastic for him. And really good. The senior players and the rest of the group were pleased to see his efforts recognised. And so yeah, there's always opportunity. And I think we're a club that's shown that over the years.
Yeah, Jack Ormonroyd made his 100th Super League appearance at weekend. How important is it, sort of him and the other experienced players in the squad, sort of keep everyone together?
Yeah, absolutely. Jack's been fantastic. So it's a real milestone game for him, 100 at Wigan there, and in such a manner where he's done 80 minutes and just 80 minutes of real high quality work as well across the board, defence, attack. All the sacrificial acts, and nothing went amiss there. It was a complete performance from Jack. So he'll remember that for probably not the normal reasons, but it was a real show of leadership from him, and he'll be remembered for it from the youngsters, and he can remember his 100th game with a lot of pride, that's for sure.
Yeah, Catalan away this week. What does the preparation look like playing on is it Friday rather than usual Saturday? Does it make any difference at your end?
Yeah, it does, because obviously you play Sunday, so you're 48 hours away from being able to do anything. So the lads need to recover. So that means we've trained today, and then we'll play on Friday, travel tomorrow. So it was just a one session. But Catalan often find themselves in that predicament themselves. So I know how that feels, and it's and like I say, I have a lot of respect for Catalan and the trials and tribulations they go through. But they're at home this week, and the heat's on us. Really, the pressure's on them, but the heat's on us. So we'll have to, we'll have to be good this week. That's for sure.
Yeah, final one from me. Obviously, quarter final this week away at Catalan. What would it mean to you, the players, the club, and the fans if we were to make it to the semi-final? Do you think?
It would mean we're one step further to where we want to get. It's as simple as that. So it's clearly a big game, and but it's about just making it through, isn't it?
Brilliant. Thanks for talking to us, Paul, and good luck.
Thanks, mate.
Martin,
Hi, Paul.
quickly, or
Yeah, Martin.
It's Martin here. Yeah. Just a quick one, mate. You said earlier it's good to communicate better, and you implied that communications have improved both within the club and beyond it and so on. As part of that communication, is there any indication now that the players and staff have all been paid? They were all paid, I believe, by the end of March, if not, even though it was maybe a day or two late. The payments have been made. Is there any indication that you've heard that the salary cap restriction might be lifted at some point in the near future?
Well, that's the plan, but we've got to, as a organisation, when we'll fulfil our part of the bargain. But that is the plan. But that can't. Nobody's communicated that other than what we knew right at the beginning. Nothing's changed.
I believe the owners are aware of that, and I just get the feeling from elsewhere that they hopefully have got that in hand and will achieve it to get the club back on track.
Well, I hope so, Martin. So that's what we're aiming for, and that's what we're still here plugging away. That there's some light at the end of the tunnel there, but we're having a good time. We're playing rugby, and we've been paid. Do
you feel as though a bit of a cloud has been lifted, at least partly?
Well, I've not got a cloud over me, Martin. I'm like you're making me miserable all of a sudden.
No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to make you less miserable.
You had a quick question, and then after 3 minutes, I answer it, so it's not quick. But no, I'm happy. So there's a lot of uncertainty. You can't deny all that stuff. But we're here just cracking on. So people deal with it differently. But I can't have doom and gloom over my head, because what I do will reflect on the group. So I've got to be upbeat. For them, that's part of leadership, and I'm all right. I've got a clear vision in my head of what it looks like, and then we'll deal with it as it comes. But it's been every day, one day at a time, then 1 week at a time, and I'll just stick to that. That's the healthiest way to go about it for myself.
And the positive thing is, I think the fans, by and large, have really stuck with you, haven't they? The support from the Salford fans. I mean, everybody always says there are not as many of them as you'd like there to be, but they do give a lot of loud support, and hopefully a lot of them will be going to Catalans on Friday. It's not as easy to go on a Friday as it would be on a Saturday, I suppose, but hopefully you'll take a few with you.
Yeah, they're consistent. That's what they are. And when we talk about numbers, well, we'd like to fill our stadium, but I'm pretty confident that every team we go and visit away will be made up with the travelling support that we get away. It's fantastic away support that we get. We'd obviously like bigger numbers at our home ground, but that's not a message to the fans that are coming. That's part of the growing of the business that we hope that starts to progress as the ownership takes over. That's their job now. That's Chris's job, to get the fans in that and to grow the business and to market the club properly. So our fans and our players that are already here, are first class, and so we can't squeeze any more out of them, and can't squeeze any more out of the players. We're at 100%, and that's all you can ask for.